Good afternoon. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. Want to introduce you to a new member of the family. Just talked to last video about the new horse we just got, and so this is Ray. That's not R-A-Y as in a ray of sunlight. That's R-A as in short for Rahab. If you know your Bible stories at all, you might look up Rahab the harlot. She started out kind of a little bit of a bad person in bad company, but then she ended up in a better position later on. And so this is Ray. Ray is 6 years old, registered quarter horse. She's very well bred and very athletic. And so I just got her in about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. And she's not a school horse. She's my horse. I got her just for me to ride. And I'm going to turn her into my ride. But she's already turning into school. And quit. Come here and pay attention. What do you got? Got a little bit of cold going on here. So I took her out. So she's got a lot of things that I really, really like. But she's got a few things that I don't prefer about my horses. Am I boring you? Huh? Am I boring you? And so I wanted to talk about this morning. It'd be a good lesson. When you get a horse in that you really like, but there's things about them that you just don't prefer, that you just don't want. And sometimes when you first get that horse, there might be multiple things, okay? But what we want to talk about today is picking your battles. Be still, sweetie. All right, picking your battles. I went out the other day. Will was on another horse. I think he was on Biscuit. And I went out on her. And I knew I was taking a chance. But we went out in the 200-acre pasture up on top where we keep all the horse herd. And we went out to jingle in the horses. Now, for those who are not familiar with the term, the horses are loose and free out in this 200-acre pasture. So you keep a horse or two up, and you go out there and you actually drive the horses into the corral so that you can work them. And so we went out there, and the horses were way on the back side. And there's a lot of draws and dips and steep hills and some ponds and stuff back in there. So, and they were way on the back side. Well, when we went back there, you see them horses down there at John's? We went back there and we started moving the horses. They come up against a steep hill and they started to go back away from the barn around the hill. And so I was going to go up over the hill and get on top of the ridge that they were going around to keep them from spilling back down in case they decided they didn't want to go to the barn. Well, as soon as they started, and of course, when you jingle horses, they don't jingle at a walk. And so as soon as the horse herd started moving away from her at speed, she went nuts. And then when I went to turn her to go up that steep hill to head them off over there, she really went nuts. I know, but you quit. I know. Come here. All right. And so I had a split-second decision to make. Number one, and she was on the fight, and she hadn't done it in a while, but she's bucked before. She's got a temper. Not real bad, and you say, well, she don't look like she has a temper now. Well, she's young, and she's hot-blooded, and she has a bit of a temper. And she reared up a little bit, not horrible, but she reared up some, and she kicked out in the back. So I had a decision to make. I'm like, okay, I can fight her to get up that hill to head them off the way we started, and I might win that fight, and I might lose that fight. Or we can just stop right here and let the horses leave. So she has to contend with being out there by herself without the other horses. And so I elected to stop. Now, she got agitated when the horses went around the other hill out of sight. But I was able to pull her in, settle her down a little bit. And I sat there and waited for a minute till I was sure the horses, especially at their speed, that they were gone. Then we went around the hill. Of course, they were long out of sight. So I found a steep hill right there, and I pointed her up that steep hill. And we went down the ridge, and I pointed her down another steep hill. And then we found another hill, and I put her up that. And I put her down, and I made her walk every step of the way, all the way back to the barn. Okay? What happened was I picked my battle. Now, if I had got in the fight, and this is really important with a young horse, okay? Especially with a really young horse, if I had picked a fight and decided spurs and whip, we're going up that hill, and she had decided to lose her temper, and I'm not a rider that can ride bucking horses on hillsides, okay? And if I had not been able to do that, then we would have wound up with a worse temperament and a worse memory than what we started with. I would have lost more than just the fight. Now there is a chance she might not have actually fully broken in half, but she acted like she was fixing to, and I decided not to engage in that battle. Instead, I turned the battle around, and within 5 minutes, her head was down and she was calm, and she walked calmly back to the barn. Oh, yours bored to tears here. Come on, baby doll. Quit worrying about them horses, all right? But you got to pick your battles. When I first got her, she's not been taught. I don't let my horses graze when they're on halter or they got a bit in their mouth unless I've hobble broke them and they're on hobbles. Well, she's a hog for eating, okay? She's a hog for eating. So when I got her, she was trying to graze when I first went up there to the horses. Back up. She was trying to graze, and she was whinnying at the other horses, which I don't let them do. And I saddled her, and we went out to lead the first deal out. And she whinnied at another horse, but she was nervous about going out. She was nervous about the wind. And so I didn't know this. Deanna heard me as I was riding away when she whinnied. I just said to myself under my breath, just pick your battles, Dwayne. You're not going to fix everything at one time. Okay? Pick the battle that you can win today. That you can win. Not the battle that some book or some video told you that a real cowboy would win this battle. You pick the battle that you can win today. You say, Dwayne, what about the battle that I did not engage in that needs to be fixed? That will be fixed. I'm not saying leave stuff and let it go and don't deal with it. I'm saying deal with one thing at a time as you're ready and able to deal with it. Okay? And this holds across in marriage. All right? There are a lot of marriages that are really in a bad way today because they're trying to fight the war on 10 different battlefronts at one time. All right? Just pick one battle. You and your spouse pick one battle, trouble that you're having in the marriage. Just pick that one, the one that you think you can win. I don't mean you can win against your spouse. I mean the one that you and your spouse, with dialogue and patience and grace, that you guys can win together. Talk it out. Say, this is what we're fighting. And this is what we got. Well, this is what we have to deal with. Yes, but we also have to deal with this and this and this. Well, let's pick one. What's the one thing that you and I together can say, okay, this is a problem for the two of us that we're going to fix. And we're going to put all the other problems, no, don't now. They're all right. We're going to put all the other problems on the back burner. And we're not going to worry about them. We're going to pick our battle. When you win that battle, pick another battle. Now, she's 6 years old. I'm 56. My plan is to not buy another horse to ride. This is it. So I know they're down there. I know they are. But you need to focus, okay? I have a lot of years left, if I have any years left, all right? I don't have to have her the perfect horse for me today. I don't have to. But what I do is I have to have a horse. I have to be the horseman. I have to be wise enough in my training and my relationship that I'm building with my horse to go out and to pick one thing. To pick one thing that by the time we're done with the ride and come back, she's a little bit better in that one thing. And if I stay the course and stay focused and I just focus on that one thing, when I get that one thing where I want it, I can focus on another thing. I can deal with something else. All right. When you feel like your life in the world is just one constant war, your entire life is one war, you're at war with everything, so you're completely overwhelmed, what do? Just pick a battle. Any battle, a little battle, and win that battle. Put all your focus and all your energy and everything you've got in that battle. And when you get that battle fixed, then pick another battle. All right? Wars are won one battle at a time. Okay? All right? So I just want to encourage you on that. I want to mention our sponsor today. The sponsor of this video, of course, is Rand's Custom Hatters. As I've mentioned them on here before, they do a beautiful job. They made this hat. They made my new dress hat. They just made Mama a new hat. She's got a video on there about that. And this is pure beaver, 100% beaver fur, beaver felt. And you're a person that works outside like a house. All right, doesn't matter how well the house is built. If you got a good roof and a good foundation, it'll last forever. All right, boots and hats. All right, your good roof and a good foundation. And I strongly recommend, it's what I'm wearing, I recommend Rand Custom Hatters. And I've had this one long before they hooked up and started sponsoring us on here. You've seen it on here for a long time. And you can call them up and say, hey, I'm interested in the Dry Creek Wrangler. And that's this shape. A lot of people ask me about this shape. It's a shape that I shaped myself. I liked it. And so they had so much interest in it and so much request for it that I took it into them. They kept it for several days and measured everything out. Come here. Measured everything out. And so you can actually call them and the Dry Creek Wrangler. So anyhow, I hope this video helps you a little bit. Hope it encourages you a little bit. There's nothing like feeling overwhelmed and overpowered to make us just quit. But sometimes we're overwhelmed and overpowered because we're taking on too much. You got a child, and that child's just got all these behaviors that's just driving you crazy. Just pick one. Just pick one. Help them through that one and fix that one. And when you got that one fixed, pick another one. All right? It's that pig meat and elephant, man. One bite at a time. So, I guess that's about it for now. Be logical. Be reasonable. Be safe. And have fun. We'll catch y'all next time.